If you're looking for information on the Chrysler 300, you come to the right place. I'm going to give you a full review of this 2018 300. But it's not just any review, it's from a real-world owner's experience. I've had the car for about a year, driven it about 13,000 miles, and I've taken over a 1,000-mile trip in it. Driven it both in city and the country. So I'm going to give you my full opinion based on my real-world experience, so stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So as I said in the intro, I'm about to do a full review of this 2018 Chrysler 300 Touring model. Now if you don't know, the Touring model is the absolute base model for the 300. Now it does have the Sport appearance package on it, and I'll get to that in a minute. But other than that, it's the absolute base model. So I'm going to go over everything you get on the model, and then my experience with it and my overall opinion about the car. I've had it for about a year, and I put about 12,000 miles on it. So I'm going to go over all that in just a minute. Now, if you're new to the channel, let me briefly introduce myself and fill you in on what you can expect. I am a wheelchair user, but I'm also a die-hard car enthusiast. And here on the channel, I try to produce high quality and info-rich car content, but keep it entertaining as well. Now, I normally feature my old 1983 square body C10 you see in the background. Now, I did special order a brand new 2019 Camaro SS about 6 weeks ago, so it should be in any time, and you'll be seeing it on the channel a lot. So if any of that sounds intriguing and you'd like to tag along, consider subscribing. So I'm going to jump right into this review, but first I want to point out that this is the absolute base model car, touring model, and it doesn't have any add-ons. It's just the absolute base model, except, well, I said no add-ons. It does have the Sport appearance package, but that is just cosmetic. It just adds the 20-inch wheels and a few other cosmetic upgrades. I actually did a full review of what you get with that package already a while back. If you want to see that video, I'll post it up here in the corner. Now, first of all, let's start with the exterior features. Like most modern cars, it does not have a key. It has a key fob, rather, and the base model does not come with remote start. However, it does have the ability to lock and unlock the doors and the panic button. Another cool feature regarding locking and unlocking the doors is the buttons on the outside of the driver's side door handles. If you shut the door but forgot to lock it, as long as you have the key fob within proximity, all you have to do is reach up and push this little black button, and it'll lock the doors. Similarly, if you have the key fob within proximity, in order to unlock the door, all you have to do is reach up and put your hand on the door handle like you're going to open it. This activates a little sensor in the back of the handle, and it unlocks the doors. There's also a similar feature on the trunk. As you can see here on the third brake light, there is a button on the right side. As long as the key fob is within proximity, you can push that button and it will allow you to open up the trunk. Now, as you may know, the Chrysler 300 is actually offered with a V8 engine option. However, the base model, the touring model, is not offered with that engine, and you can only get the 3.6 liter V6. But even for a V6, this thing's pretty strong. It produces just under 300 horsepower, and it performs fairly well even inside this full-size sedan. I'm not just going off the numbers. I put this thing to the test. I even had it on the drag strip. Check out this video right here to see all that fun stuff. Now, in terms of handling and overall drivability, it's pretty good. I'm not an expert on cars in terms of driving them. I've always had trucks, and before this car, I'd actually only driven a car maybe twice in my life. And I don't mean I've had two cars. I mean I literally sat down behind the wheel of one twice, but it seems pretty good. It handles well. Definitely better than a truck. And it feels, I don't get that feeling like I'm dragging it across the ground, like I have in some cars, or at least when I was a passenger in one. But overall, I think the drivability and handling is, pretty good. Yeah, you better not be rubbing in something nasty again. But now let's move into the interior features of this base model Chrysler 300. The display screen is fairly large, and there's several features that come with it. You have dual climate control, where you can adjust the temperature of both the driver and passenger sides independently. And there's an auto button where you can set the thermostat so that the heat and air automatically come on relative to how cool you have the thermostat set. This allows you to maintain a constant temperature inside the car without having to constantly adjust the fan. This is a really good feature in my opinion, and I use it all the time. Now the steering wheel, it does have several buttons on it. It allows you to manipulate both the display screen and the in-dash gauge cluster screen. You can of course adjust the volume on the radio and change radio stations. You can change what is displayed on the little display screen inside the dash cluster, and there's quite a bit of information inside there. Your fuel economy, tire pressure, miles per hour, and odometer information, etc. As far as seating and overall room and space, of course, with the base model, you'll only get, cloth seats, but they're pretty comfortable, and they have a lot of space. And the driver's side does have a power seat that's fully adjustable with the push of a button. The back seat is fairly spacious and pretty comfortable. I've ridden back there some, so I can attest to its comfort. It has 2 vents in the back, air and heat vents, and 2 USB ports. Now that we've talked about some of the features you get with this car, I'll try to give you my overall impressions with it based on my experience with it over the past year and putting over 13,000 miles on it. Now, I think I may have mentioned this earlier, but I have driven this car, a fair amount in several different environments. I've driven it in the country a lot, driven it on the freeway some, enough to make an opinion about it, and in the city. And I pretty much always averaged around 25 miles a gallon. But I did take the car on a 1,000-mile trip in the south in Alabama, and those really straight roads down there, I actually averaged as high as 33 miles to the gallon, and the car wasn't even fully broken in at that time, so it may have done even better than that had of the engine and everything been broken in completely. So MPG wise, I think the car does pretty well for almost 300 horsepower full-size sedan. Like I mentioned, I think it handles well. Like I said, I'm not an expert on car handling. I've had a lot of experience with cars, but it feels pretty good. It feels sturdy. I think it being a full-size sedan helps about it just feels sturdy, and it takes curves fairly well to be so large. I haven't had any mechanical problems with the car. Nothing has gone out, which I know it's still new, but I've been pleased with that. I have no complaints about it. It's been a good car, and I would recommend it if you like the 300. I'm overall pleased with the features you get with this base model. It's plenty for me. I'm not crazy about all the fancy stuff. I think it's got everything I need. But as you probably know, the 300 has lots of options. You can get several different models, and you can add several options. So I think there's probably something out there for you, in this car, if depending on your overall taste. And I also didn't mention the price. You probably already know this. I'm not going to go into it too much, but I feel like the price of these cars, of course, they range from, reasonable to, pretty high. But this base model, I think it MSRP's for around 28,000. I'm not sure. I'll put it on the screen if that's not right. But there's oftentimes some pretty good incentives on them. When I got this one, there was a $6,000 rebate. So depending on when you get it, you may be able to get it down pretty. For me, for what they are, I think that's a pretty good deal. And I know I went over it quite a bit, but there's still just, I'm sure I missed some stuff. So if I did, there's something you'd like to know, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to answer it. But I hope you found this helpful, and if you'd like to see, other videos of mine, check out some of these I posted here on the screen. And don't forget, the Camaro SS should be here anytime. So if you want to, tag along with that whole adventure, make sure you hit that subscribe button and drop a like if you want to support the channel. And I'll see you next time.